Indeed, let's get to those Alphabet third quarter results, and it looks like they are coming in largely ahead of estimates. Third quarter earnings per share, $2.12 versus the $1.84 that analysts had anticipated here. Revenue ex-TAC, ex-traffic acquisition costs, which is how we measure it, about $74.5 billion, $72.9 billion is what analysts had been anticipating. So beating on that front, and big beat on the Google Cloud revenue front as well, $11.35 billion, $10.79 billion is what had been anticipated. It looks like YouTube ad revenue also beat analyst estimates, as well as overall ad revenue for the Google unit itself, Josh.
Yeah, it looks like just beats all over this print, Julian. So no surprise, the stock is higher here by about 2%. CEO Sundar Pichai saying his statement here. He talks about the momentum across the company. He calls extraordinary. He talks about the commitment to innovation, as well as he says our long-term focus and investment in AI are paying off, he says, with consumers and partners benefiting from our AI tools. Lots of questions, of course, off the call. I think we're going to, more color on ad spending trends. I mean, analysts do, emphasize ad comps do get tougher for this name in the second half, but how exactly executives characterize just the digital ad spend environment will be critical. I think the AI evolution in search, Julie, is going to come up on this call and how they think about that. Google Cloud beats estimates. That is notable. The third largest cloud player now in this market. Of course, you're waiting to hear still from Amazon and Microsoft, and they have been investing there in tech, in sales. How much of a meaningful contributor is AI to the business as well? That'll surely come up on the call.
Yeah, I was just doing a little math here. It looks like the YouTube ad revenue went up by about 12%, if my math is correct, which is always a caveat. And I know that, even though the stock had been running up into this print, the analyst commentary ahead of this report, even from people who were bulls, was not terribly enthusiastic. I mean, even the likes of Dan Ives, who, as we know, is a bull on the name, said that there was limited opportunity for upside relative to estimates this quarter because he had seen some mixed feedback in, for example, an advertising survey they had done. Also, another bull, Justin Post over at Bank of America, said, we'll have a meet or beat in the third quarter. Search is stable. YouTube could be weak. So it seems like, again, even though the stock action had been higher, kind of the chatter around it was not that enthusiastic. So it's interesting to see these beats and to see the company, the shares rise. Again, to your point, what they have to say on the call, more color around the AI story, I think is going to be quite interesting.
To your point, I agree, Joe. I think even when you would read through the previews, the notes, even folks were bulled up. Yeah. You did sometimes pick up some hesitancy there. And there's, there is, and we've talked about this, the AI evolution in search. There's open questions long-term, what that means for this name going forward. I think, you also more near-term, how they're thinking about fighting regulatory antitrust challenges. That's going to come up on the call. You do have some change in the C-suite that are notable too. Remember, you have a new CFO here, Anat Ashkenazi. This is her first earnings, actually. Came over from Eli Lilly. I know what's interesting is some analysts bring up how she did used to provide some annual guidance when she was at Eli Lilly, and so some on the street are wondering, does that mean any change to Alphabet's sort of guidance approach going forward? Could be something to watch.
One more thing that we are going to be listening closely for. Spending, right? I haven't been able to glean from the release if we've gotten any clarity on any changes to spending plans, capital spending related to AI infrastructure. We know that the hyperscalers like Alphabet have been spending like crazy. So maybe we'll get a little more commentary about that on the call as well.
Yep.